Hey everyone, welcome to Close Look. Kevin Atwell here with you. I'm standing next to a very young and talented individual. His name is Sam Bhatnagar. Let's hear his story. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. Yourself, Kevin?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about where you grew up, where you went to school, and what you studied.
Awesome. Well, I'm actually from Kenya. I grew up in Kenya, and I actually studied till high school over there. But I moved to Canada in 2005. I graduated from Quadrants Polytechnic University, and that's where I'm actually. Well, that's how I got into learning more about the Canadian system. I actually moved here in 2005, but I got started into business a little early in life. I got started at the age of 19. That was in 2007, and just that's where I'm from.
Cool. And so when you studied at Quadrants Polytechnic, what did you study there? What was your courses?
Well, at that point in time, I was taking business administration, but I came to realize pretty quick that business cannot be learned in the four walls of a classroom. You have to go out there. You have to find out, what are the needs of people and what are the real pains that an average family goes through. So while I was doing that, I was working at so many places at the same time, and that's where I felt, the more experience you have, the better you can make decisions in life rather than only relying on education, for being that source of inspiration.
Yeah. Very well said. And how old are you?
I'm actually 24 years old now.
You're younger than me and you have your own small business. Tell us how that panned out for you.
Sure. Well, business was basically I looked into business for the very first time at age 19, and one thing I realized about business was the fact that the business that I'm in is more about educating Canadians. It's about providing that help that a lot of families that will be overlooked by the financial industry. So when I looked into this sort of a business, I was just so happy to work for a cause like that. And as I started, that became my passion. My passion started to pay me. So in 2007, we opened up our first office here in Surrey. We were able to get a great response, and then in 2009 we opened up an office out in Abbotsford, and last year in June I just opened up a third office out in Burnaby, and we're getting a fantastic response. And my only thing is I would like to encourage all young people to look towards entrepreneurship and not run away from it, because entrepreneurship is something where you can find yourself, if anything, and that's how I got started into business.
Wonderful. So it seems like you've just had nothing but positive things happen to you, opening up your first one, then your second, then your third. It's very common knowledge that opening up your small business is very risky, it's very scary, and not everyone has the same kind of luck you've had. Have there been times in your endeavors of your opening your small business where you've experienced setbacks and faced challenges, and if so, how have you sort of gone beyond them to be where you are today?
Absolutely. Challenges, we faced a lot of challenges when we opened up our business. It was a big risk we actually took. But the thing is, you have to understand is every challenge can be a stepping stone to success. We can't control everybody else's action, but we can definitely control our attitude towards that action. And when I faced my challenges at first, starting at a very young age in business, I looked at my challenges as ways of learning. And you know what? I started to have a lot of fun with business, because business has to be fun. I started to look at my failures as a way to improve my sense of humor. And that started to give me so much positivity that I never looked at failure as failure. I just looked at the positive side of it, and just went along the way, and that's how I grew my business in these times.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's a very refreshing way of approaching the topic of failure. If I were to pose to you the word motivation, what would you say?
Very necessary. Everybody needs motivation. I think motivation is like oxygen. You have to breathe it daily. Personally, I read 5 pages of a book before I sleep. I surround myself with positive people, because your associations determine the type of person you will be, the type of thoughts you're going to have, and the type of results you're going to get. So motivation, 100%, very, very important.
Wonderful. And I have been made aware that you not only speak English, you have 4 more languages that you speak. Can you please share those with us?
Sure. I speak English, Punjabi, I speak Hindi, I speak Swahili, and I also picked up a little bit of Gujarati from Kenya, so I can speak Gujarati as well.
Interesting. And I would like to ask you, were you born in Kenya or were you born somewhere else and moved there?
I was born in Chandigarh in India. That's where I was born. But my father was in Kenya, so I moved to Kenya when I was just 90 days old, and that's where I was raised. So I was born in India, but raised in East Africa. and moved to Canada in 2005.
And where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
You know, I see myself making a positive impact in the community, because if there's anything that I want to do, I want to give back to the community that has supported me so much to be where I am today. You know, giving back has always been one of my biggest things and one of my biggest gifts. And if I can give back in the form of service, in the form of education, in the form of skills, and just help that one person, you know, change their life and give them that positivity, you know, so that they can dream again, they can follow their ambitions. You know what? I think that's where I am definitely headed towards.
Yeah. Wonderful. And so, you know, opening up a small business, it takes a lot of time. It's not none of this 8-hour day business. It's definitely 12 to 15, if not more, and no sleep. How do you have time to balance leisure in life? Do you have a girlfriend?
I do. Well, you know, the thing is, life has to be balanced in 4 quadrants. I've actually found out that you're right. You know, when you're starting out a business, it does take time for it to establish, especially the first 3 years, I would say. You know, it'll take your business some time. But the most important thing is if you can divide your life into these 4 quadrants, you know, it makes life very easy, because life is not only making money or being in business. My 4 quadrants that I really focus on a daily basis is: number 1, my business; number 2, my family. I'm very, very family oriented. Number 3, my health. You know, I take care of myself. I know health is wealth. And number 4, my spirituality. So these are the 4 quadrants I've divided my life in, and I tend to keep a balance in these 4, not to overwork myself in any one of them, because that balance, the moment you mess that, you step over that one boundary, you're gonna feel hurt yourself.
Very well said. I'm definitely going to walk away from this interview inspired. Thank you so much. I do wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors and nothing but success.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much.